Hello, everyone. This is Dylan from the Toro Globe, and I'm here with Bobby from DMG.
Hey everybody.
And we're here to do a little community reaction video. About the newest set from Masters, BT28. There's been a lot of discussion about the new prices and all the new type of cards that we've gotten, all the new white color, of course. Like the deck quality and everything around that. So there's a lot to talk about. New block and everything obviously is very, very exciting. A lot of things that people have criticisms about. So I thought we'd get a make a little post here to get everyone's thoughts and opinions together and put them into one video to kind of put them out there and see what everyone's thinking about the set in general. So I mean, yeah, Bobby, do you have any kind of predictions before we start this?
Yeah, I think people are probably going to be pretty happy with the cards in the set. I think the set is pretty strong for competitive players. I assume there will be some criticism of pull rates and the collector rares being 4 per case. That's kind of lame, and 1 SPR per case. So I think on the collector side, there's some things to be mad about. But from the player's perspective, the decks all seem like they are, if not, the best deck, or majorly competitive. They all seem playable, so that's good.
Yeah, for sure. So I think this was definitely a good set by Bandai, but they could obviously always do stuff better. So yeah, so I made a little post here in the Dragon Ball Super Facebook Masters community group, and we're going to see how many we got. So we have about 24 comments. Some of them are replies, but we'll just go through the actual comments. So first we got Barry here saying RN2 best deck. It's creeping up there. It probably is one of the best decks from the newest that's from the set, right? Like, it's seeming like it.
Yeah, you always have to take BR with a grain of salt. You can't tell when he's trolling or telling the truth. But in this context, he does believe in Arinsu. I think he thinks it is a very strong deck, and it had a great showing this weekend in Dallas. So best deck might be a stretch, but it is definitely a meta contender and a very powerful deck. When I don't think people, at least during the preview season, I don't think people were freaking out about it. They were more on Daima. So
yeah, Orange is one of those like low to the ground aggro decks that can kind of get it out of control if your opponent doesn't prepare for it. So definitely seems pretty strong there. So yeah, I definitely agree. It's probably, I don't know if it's the best deck, but it's probably definitely one of the best decks coming out of the set at least. Then we have another guy we know, Petrillo. So Daima is a terrible deck, and once people figure out how to play against it, it will barely top any events. So we were actually just kind of talking about this too. Like, if you lose your Unisons in Daima, it does feel a lot worse, and you're kind of behind. So, I mean, you kind of see what he's saying here?
yeah, I think he's right. Miguel's a very bright guy. Sometimes he has some rough takes, but I forgive him. But he's right in this context. I think you really do have to have both Unisons bridge that turn when you play them. You set them up, and then if your board gets broken, it's very difficult to recover. But if it lives, the ceiling is very high. So if you're playing against something slow, it can have some success. But as we've seen the metagame right now, you've got Arinsu, and you've got Tien, and you've got some pretty fast decks. Black Panzino is still around. These decks that don't let you set up. So I don't know. Terrible might be strong, but I agree with him in the sense that it's not as good as it was hyped to be.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely terrible is a little exaggeratory, but definitely Daima Goku is definitely still up there. I think like it can definitely still perform. Probably is a little matchup dependent because like green probably hurts it a lot since Unison removal. Even though the Pansy does give him barrier, that can still hurt a lot. And then really any deck that can produce a lot of swings, like you're saying, Tien, Arinsu, like we've been seeing them put outs, and a lot of them have been saying even that they were playing a lot of Daima Gokus, and they were beating them because they were able to swing into their Unison so many times. So yeah, I mean that will be definitely a way of people figuring out how to play against it, countering it. So Daima definitely does seem like it's still a contender, but definitely still has its bad matchups for sure. We got another guy we know, Josiah Covey. So my hot take is that these prices on these cases and rates aren't that good for this set. Not only do you not get SRs as box toppers, but the concept rares are only 4 a case. It's a good set, just wish it was better rates for the price, which is true. They did increase the prices for this set, and we did expect to get better quality and better like pulls because we're paying more now. But they did kind of like screw us over a little bit by kind of like making it to where SRs are no longer box top because the energy markers now, which the energy markers are kind of, they're alright, but they're not like, we want other SRs to actually play our decks. And then concept rares being 4 case. This isn't like the Z Unisons from before, like you can run one in a Z deck and be completely fine. Concept rares actually seem good and you can play 4 in a deck. So having only 4 case and you're not allowed to get dupes of them either, pretty stupid. I mean, do you agree, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, we paid $1,200 for our cases here, and MSRP on a pack is $5.99. And selling this set, if you bought a case and you were flipping some stuff, you'll know that it was not as easy to sell as History of Z, which didn't have that increased MSRP, which didn't. There was no foils, right? So I think the energy marker was a cute idea, but I don't need 12 energy markers in a case. That's a lot. And the set, who's like, man, I really need to play with this Rise of the Unison Warrior energy marker. I don't know. They could have done better with that. The Zenkai rares were really awesome, at least from my perspective. You only need 1 or 2 for your Z deck, you're exactly right. But these concept rares, some of these decks really rely on getting them, right? I mean, Daima is a deck that there's only so many cards you can use with using your Unison's energy. And having that concept rare is very strong. So I wish the concept rares would have been the box topper. That would have been a neat way to do it. No black in the whole set was kind of lame. The common still not being foil was pretty lame. Hopefully I'm not stepping on all these other people's comments, but they increased the amount of SRs. You got 9 SRs, which is good if you're trying to build all the decks, but if you're trying to make your money back from the case, SRs, that's a hard way to do it. You really got to earn it if you're flipping SRs. So I think Josiah's right.
Yeah, for sure. I think a better way of doing it is like maybe having the energy markers be like a thing that you get, like kind of like how you got like stamp packs with your boxes. Like how about just when you buy a box, they give you an energy marker to go with it. Like not even as a box stopper, just a free thing that you get with it. Like I think that'd be a better way of doing it than just having them be the box toppers in the actual boxes. It's not great. Either have it be the concept rares or just have it be like SPRs. Because rates are not great, and they're also very mapped out too. Like they're very random in the past. Like you can get dupes of other cards, but like this is like you are guaranteed to get like 1 of each card, and that's it. And if you're buying a whole case to get like a playstyle of everything, that feels bad. So
yeah, and I'm also kind of concerned that they did sets 1 through 10 for the energy marker in set 28. So if the way the math lines up, at least in my brain, set 29 will have 11 through 20, and then set 30 would have 21 through 30, and then they'd have energy markers for every set, which I really hope they don't do, right?
Yeah,
but it does kind of line up and make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, they could make that last through a whole year doing that. So
I hope not. The next set comes out in like 7 weeks or something. It comes out early November, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, yeah,
I kind of like the 6 months that we had for the last format, but
yeah, I would hope they definitely change some stuff around, take the feedback. But maybe they already have everything planned out already since it's pretty soon. So we'll just hopefully see better stuff in the future on that. So I think this is a really good set. Colors have staples. There are more than 2 playable decks, that is true. The reboot is really good. Yep, I would say reboot TN is pretty good. I like that we have reverse foils again. Yep, I like that also. I like that not only the SRs have the SPR treatments. And yeah, the concept rares are hard and expensive to get, but that makes the set worth chasing in my opinion. Keeps the value of the game alive. Best game. Having reverse foils again is nice. Making it to where the commons can't even be foil is still pretty lame. I mean, people want to have their blinged out decks. You have to play these commons in these decks. And there's no way to get them foil. It is pretty lame when they've been foil in the past. I don't know if I agree having to keep the concept rares expensive. Like, Maybe if the concept birds were just like alt arts of cards that are already in the set, like the Zenkai birds were, I'd say that's fine. But these are actual cards that you like are going to need competitively. So I don't know about that. Do you agree?
Yeah, they should have just done like an SR for each of the concept rares that didn't have cool art and had. I don't know how to do it with that, Son Goku versus Goma or whatever, but the fact that you might need 4 of these for a color and they're that expensive, I don't know. There's only so many cases being opened also. So it's not like there's going to be tons of these on the market. I wish it wasn't if it was for collectors or something like that, I'd be like, whatever, cool. Collectors can chase them like the serialized cards in the last set. That's awesome because collectors are eager to open it up and pull one of those, but I don't need it as a player. I can just get the SR, and that's fine. Right. I wish they didn't make players pick up these $70, $80, $90 singles and need multiples of them. It's one thing to do it for your SCR when you only need one, but not for staples. But other than that, I think all of his other takes are right. So.
Yeah, I would say there definitely was some good staples for like basically every color. Got some good stuff that can be used in any other decks.
Except black.
Yeah, except black, but maybe next set they had to give white the spotlight this time, so it kind of makes sense, I guess. And there being
it is the best game. Oh.
That is too. And then there's being more than two playable decks. They are getting very good at. They are getting way better at that nowadays. Just making it to where pretty much every deck is at least playable. Like there's probably only one deck in the set that's just the red Gohan deck that's probably like actually just terrible. I mean, from what I've played and seen, I mean, maybe you can prove me wrong. I would like to see you prove me wrong, but yeah, I would say they're pretty good. They're getting pretty good at that, so designing these decks and actually making them playable too.
Yeah, I was reminded of the old days today when I opened my event pack in our Trinity event and I pulled a Analaza event pack 8-drop for a deck that never saw play and absolutely stunk. And so there's not a ton of those anymore. Even the cards for the Gohan flip leader, there's some good cards printed for the archetype. The deck might not be great, but not every deck is going to be tier 1, but at least all of these decks like function and have an engine and can do things, which is an improvement on what they used to print.
Right, yeah, so definitely they've gotten a lot better than that, which, I mean, by 28 sets I would hope so, but it definitely does it definitely does prove that they know what they're doing by now. They know how to make these decks, and they still make them interesting too. Like I would say the Diamond deck is pretty interesting how it works, the TM deck is pretty interesting how it works, the Purunga Wish deck is pretty interesting. Like they're still good at what they do. Was making these decks.
Yeah, there's always one deck of format where I'm like, man, this is really cool. Like, it might not be the strongest deck or it might not be the most competitive, but how they use the deck to either match the lore or just create a unique playstyle, something that we hadn't done before. I think they've been pretty successful at that.
Yeah, for sure. So, alright, so yellow was underwhelming. Flip Gohan wrote off, so sorry if it's cool. Blue Diamond was a cool idea, but due to how overpowered the unisons are, leads to very boring gameplay of opponent only swinging at your unisons and they quits you. Every other deck in this set, though, is hella fun and unique and mostly competitively playable, with different cool ways to play the game. Overall insanely cool sets. So pretty much what we were saying. Yellow was underwhelming. I wouldn't say the Great Saiyaman deck was underwhelming. Vegito, I definitely can feel. I think Vegito is kind of underwhelming. It's pretty linear in how it plays. It can easily be stopped. The Flip Gohan deck definitely does seem very bad. The Blue Diamond deck, definitely, I don't know if it's overpowered, but I can see it definitely leads to some very boring gameplay, like you're saying, where they just negate over and over again, or they just swing at your unisons and nothing happens. But yeah, I mean, just like we were saying before, I mean, they still make the decks pretty fun and unique.
Yeah, Max is one of the Australian goats. I don't know, he's a great guy over there in Oceania. He's right. Yeah, I don't know about. Dude, look at this guy selling cards during our videos. This is amazing.
Oh man,
great content for the people. You should negotiate live here on the hot take video. No, he's right. I mean, I don't really understand what he's saying here. The Blue Diamond was a cool idea, but due to how overpowered the unison are, leads to. So is he saying like the unisons are so strong that when you're playing the deck, your opponent only swings at the unison, which makes it boring. Is that
Yeah, pretty
is
much.
that what I'm supposed to take out of that?
Kind of one of those like stall decks that just kind of you ramp and stall essentially with the Glorios. Try to just play it slow. And so there's decks I can see people kind of hating. Just the ultra.
There's worse offenders. There's worse offenders of that than Blue Daima. I don't know. I played against Sin Zeno in our Trinity event today and got Oceanist 4 times, so maybe I'm a little salty, but there's worse stall decks than Daima. You have to like see the Bulma, see the Pansy. You have to see all the stuff that you can use the Unisons for. Otherwise, most decks will just break your board. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Hella fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'm liking the set a lot from what we've been playing. Alright, we got a long one here. Okay, so price increase. In my place, Dragon Ball boxes are sold for around the same price as Magic the Gathering, even more. And I don't see the quality increase coming with it, so...
Can we go piece by piece here?
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, we can go. So price increase first.
We agree, right?
Yeah, I would say it's not really lining up with how much the price increased on cases, with what we got from the case. Yeah, I mean, you agree with that, right?
Definitely agree. Why not serialized cards? Why not something?
Yeah, definitely need like more rarities, more high quality looking cards than just concept rares, and that's really it. I mean, 2 god rares, sure, but like you have to pull. God rares are so rare. I mean, I don't know. I think there should have been just more like the Zenkai rares we talked about before, like that. Put those in plus the concept rares, and then it'd be more worth it maybe.
Where's our god packs?
Those two, yeah, we don't have those anymore. I mean, every pack basically is foil now, except the commons, but still. We got Timu quality foils. Only SPRs look okay, and some SCRs. Wasted potential of the Daima SCR and God Rare, in my opinion, looks like shit. So, I'll kind of agree. The God Rare Daima SCR is not really like a God Rare worthy looking card, I would say. It's barely even looks like a God Rare.
Yeah, so it looked so little like a God Rare that when I pulled it, I just not threw it, but I placed it in my box thinking, oh man, this is just an SCR. I thought I was only looking for the red one. I didn't even realize that was the God Rare art. So I needed a friend to point it out to me. So I agree. If I would have pulled one of the other, like you pull that red Vegeta God Rare to Realm of the Gods, whoa, dude, that card, it stands out in quality over the one that the Daima won this set. So the SPRs though I think are better than. I didn't like the foiling that we got. I don't know when it started, maybe set 24. The non-gold SPR foiling.
Yeah, I think the SPRs,
did you like that foiling?
Nah, not really. No, I like it when it's actually foiled like this, where the SPRs actually like have some depth to them.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. I would say, yeah, the SRs, they could be better. They're not gold foil again, which is kind of weird. I mean, some of the cards you can't even tell that they're SRs a lot of the time. You can very easily look past them and not see that they're SRs. So if they could put gold foiling on SRs too, that'd be a little more incentive on paying so much for these cases. Like, that'd be nice also. Decks overall are fun to play and quite different from each other. The include of new colors sure brings some new mechanics to the table and probably new players too, which is probably pretty important. White in itself is a shitty color though, until it gets solid support in next set or promos. So I don't know if shitty is the word I would describe white. I would say it's pretty solid. It definitely needs more stuff to bring it into fullness of it. But I think it's kind of there. It's almost there already. They gave it some pretty strong stuff in the first set, right?
I think so. As I watch people play it now, I haven't played a game against white yet, but I saw you playing it multiple times, and I've seen others play it, and it feels like, wow, this does a lot. Like, if this gets a couple cards that are broken, this is going to be really insane. Maybe it'll never get those cards and get to that point, but the hidden mechanic is really strong. The cards it got so far are strong, and I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if a Belmont deck, or maybe if Beerus becomes more widely distributed, that deck could do some stuff. It's not tier 0 broken, but if you're a new player and you're coming over from Fusion World and you realize that Fusion World isn't gonna quench your thirst for, real engaging gameplay, you can pick up these white cards and you don't have to find staples from previous sets. I think that's pretty nice on board, so I agree with them there.
Yeah, for sure. Best decks are for sure Aransu/Tien, and there's no point arguing over it. Daima is easy to beat if you know how much less if you know how to defend against people using Koits, and Saiyaman lacks the oomph. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of say the same thing about Aransu and Tien, honestly. Like, they have their decks that counter them too. Like, I would say Saiyaman and a Tien's a pretty bad matchup. They just kind of rest all of your stuff and negate all of your stuff, and you really can't do much of anything. Aransu definitely can have some counters, like Mill probably hurts Aransu really bad. Probably like anything that has probably like really hurtful floodgates where it hurts the deck a lot too, because it does lose in hand size a lot over the game. As the game goes on, like you lose in hand size a lot, so the lead doesn't draw. But yeah, I mean, I would say every deck in the set has a good enough chance to be one of the best decks for sure.
Yeah, I see what the point of view with Saiyaman lacking the oomph, but it's also when you draw the stuff and when you set up a board, man, it's very oppressive. You definitely have, like, it lives and dies with the 8-drop, but the engine is small enough to where you can fit in, a yellow good stuff stack in that list, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Saiyaman list, win an event, or somebody kind of crack the code on something that we haven't thought of yet, and boom, there it is, because it can draw so many cards, and it can play Gogeta SCR. Yeah. So, I think Tien, though, people have been looking at Tien pretty heavily, and I think Tien is just kind of feasting on the fact right now that nobody else is playing any other green deck. There's not a ton of green in the format, and I think Tien would be in trouble if Dormant was everywhere. Do you agree?
Probably just Green Goku's the only other one that's probably played a lot, right?
If you can afford the promos, right?
Maybe, but yeah. But even like Green with Dormant, I mean, the fact that they have that Trunks card, Trunks TP, that just wipes basically any units in the game, since you're gonna have 4 markers when it's played. That can get around Dormant pretty easily, and they're gonna have to pay for their Dormant if they want to do that, or if they tap out thinking they're gonna be safe against just Dormants, and then you can just activate main, pay 1, play this, and just wipe your token before you even swing. So, I mean, they have the counter to it, but yeah, there's definitely some bad matchups for TM. But it's looking to be one of the best decks in the set. I mean, it's already won 2 events, so it's definitely no arguing that's probably one of the best decks in the set for sure. Right there.
Well, one is definitely one in Oceania, and it got cheated in EU. But
yeah, he technically won the event, but yeah, he was in the top tables at least. But there we go there. So definitely a great idea for a video. Looking forward to checking the video out once it's out. Thanks. We're definitely recording it right now, so
hope you're here.
Yeah, you're being featured. Alright, so card stock quality wasn't as good as previous sets. The box I opened, every card was cupped. Loved everything else except the price hike. Yeah, that is unfortunate that the prices did get hiked, and every card was cupped. I don't know, did that ever happen to us?
Not to a noticeable degree where I was opening packs and being like, man, these cards are bent or anything. Maybe I don't have the eye for it, though. I'm not a collector, so
yeah,
maybe that's true. I didn't compare the history of Z and look at the card stock and say, wow, these are way worse. But
yeah, maybe the box he opened was messed up by someone else. So, but yeah, everything was cool about the set. The price hike definitely is questionable, but they're probably not going back on that anymore. So hopefully they can incentivize us to buy more with better cards in the set.
It is kind of crazy, just as an aside, that like packs were $3.99 for so long. I mean, if you watch videos of people opening vintage packs of Pokemon and stuff, those packs were $3.99 in 1999. So it's kind of crazy that with the price of everything else being so much more, that somehow trading card games like that $4 pack point or price point for the pack stayed so consistent for so long.
Yeah,
That's one of the only things I feel like that didn't increase.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and now that it's happening to everyone, everyone's not happy about it. But hopefully they can make it better for us, give us some more bang for our buck. So
Yeah.
Okay, I guess did both these together. So hot take: Green King Piccolo will be better than Tien post promos. Interesting. Also, Diamond decks are overhyped and revert to older meta decks after a few events. So he thinks the Green Piccolo TPs that are coming out will make it better than Tien. I could see it. It kind of plays a similar way, where like you just free play a bunch of stuff and swing a bunch. So maybe I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, I watched the support report on your channel, and Green KP definitely could be a contender. It's also another low to the ground aggro deck, but one of the promos does restand your leader, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty sweet in a Nimbus / Explosive Dance format, getting to swing twice with your leader.
Yeah, very strong. The Diamond decks are overhyped and they will revert to older meta decks after a few events. I don't know about reverting to older meta decks. I mean, I would personally like to see the newer decks stay in rotation, but they're overhyped.
Well,
it might be a little overhyped with the Diamond deck at least.
Yeah, if this comment means like people aren't going to play Diamond Goku, but they're going to take the 5-drop Vegeta and put it into old ramp decks, then I tend to agree. I think that some of that generic support is going to find home in other decks.
Yeah, for sure. So he has one more thing. So one last thing, the common and uncommon rarity bumps are bad for the game. Destructor just should have got an SPR, changed my mind. So rarity bumps are bad for the SPR is getting
Uncommons being SPRs.
Yeah, so that was another interesting idea that they did. Kind of giving more value to SRs since not every single one has an SPR. I get what they're going for there. I don't think it's a bad. Is that a bad thing for the game, really? Giving uncommons SPRs?
I mean, I could see in the past there's been cards that were SRs like Dormant, Explosive Dance, where there's no other printing, so it'd be nice if there's an SPR printing to kind of help the secondary market with multiple versions, but I don't think we're in that spot anymore where that really exists. I kind of like that the uncommons. I think it's cool that Glorio is an uncommon and also an SPR, but maybe different strokes for different folks. What can you? Can't please everybody.
Yeah, I think it's really to give more value to the SRs since people are going to want to bling out their decks. Obviously, no one's going to want the SRs and they're going to want the SPRs. But so I guess it gives more value to the SPRs also since they're just SPRs of uncommons. So yeah, I mean it probably helps more the secondary market more than it really helps players actually. But Destructor Dish should have gotten SPR. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't think many SRs got SPRs anyway. But yeah, I mean
Yellow, right? Yellow had it.
Yeah, I think Yellow got 2 of them, and then what else? I mean, yeah, not many other SRs that got SPRs, really just mostly commons and rares. So, there's that. Don't seduce the judges, I learned the hard way. Interesting. I'm not sure what that has to do with set 28s, but I think I know where he's going with that, but I'll leave it there. So, White U7 is Cheeks. 4-drop Vegeta is best card, but has 0 protection. Loses hard to any counterplay. Yeah, I think we have been playing around with White U7 a lot, and it does seem a little undertuned. Yeah, 4-drop Vegeta is definitely the best card, but yeah, 0 protection, and yeah, a lot of the cards don't have any deflect or barriers, so they just lose to any counterplay. Very energy hungry. Not like the Belmont deck where you can cheat out yourself with hidden mode cards. You're paying for every one of your cards, and then they have to do the thing that they need to do without getting counterplayed or just negated outright. Yeah, I would say definitely White U7 is probably the weakest out of the white decks. I mean, do you have any experience?
It is. Yeah. No. I from just what I've seen in testing, it seems like Belmont is better than Goku, but there is. I know you said no deflect, no barrier, but they do have to try and balance the fact that these cards can flip over and be protected in hidden mode. So you have to.
Right.
At some point, if they have deflect barrier and they flip over and you can never get to them, they have to find a way to balance that out. I understand what he's saying here, and I agree that the card having no protection is not good because when it gets counterplayed, but they have to find a way to balance white, and it's the first set, so I think it's okay to give them some grace and let them see how it goes.
Yeah, this is definitely a deck I could see getting support down the line and being a lot better there. So
I'm gonna message that guy. I'll sell him my markers.
Alright, so was hoping Chi-Chi would be more fun. Seems like Tien is the good green deck from this set, and Praise Zeno is the green Saiyan later. So yeah, Chi-Chi was looking pretty good from our early testing. Like, she can do a lot of damage in one turn, but it's definitely one of those like combo decks that just loses to any kind of counterplay or like negate that stops your plays. But yeah, not being a green Saiyan leader is pretty bad. You do have an in-archetype unison that's pretty good, so you can use Dormant at least. But no uneasing obviously is a big restriction. But I would say Chi-Chi's still pretty good. I mean, I would see. But yeah, Tien's probably just the better, more consistent deck out of the green decks.
Yeah.
That. So, we got our last comment here. So, no mention of Purunga being the best deck from the set, so I guess I'll say it. Purunga is the best deck from the set. It may not be Piccolo, but it's close enough. Well, we did see a Purunga top recently in the Dallas event, so maybe you're onto something, Ben. Maybe. I mean, from our testing, Purunga hasn't been very good. I mean, maybe we're not building the right version of it, but it is very slow. Leader not being able to swing is a very big detriment, and getting the 7 Dragon Balls to get the burn, it's not really that easy to do when you're getting your face pushed in also by other decks. I mean, yeah, what's your opinion on Purunga?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen an optimized version yet. I know Sam's been playing with it, trying to learn it. Yeah, I'm not sure. It is kind of a slow setup deck that those type of decks have not really thrived lately in the meta, but it does seem to draw a lot of cards, and it has some strong cards in it. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody cracks the code on it and it ends up being good, because that leader ability is really strong, but it's just these decks where you have to build your whole board up to make things happen seem harder to do right now. But that being said, you know, it draws a ton of cards, and if it can slow you down, then it can probably do its thing. So I know Ben is a noted Piccolo enthusiast, so I'm sure he's happy that the deck is pretty good.
Yeah, we have a friend of our own who's a very big Piccolo fan, so he's pretty happy with the SPRs and everything he's gotten. So he's been building up the Purunga deck as well. So yeah, that was everyone's comments about the set 28's the community reaction. Thank you to everyone who commented down below, giving you our thoughts. Should be some pretty good feedback, like maybe for Bandai if they ever listen to this, just about what people think about like the pull rates, the set itself, the decks. Honestly, I mean, to kind of cap it all off here, I think they did a pretty good job with the set overall. Like, really, my only problem is the kind of how much we're paying compared to how much we're getting. But I mean, deck quality was pretty high. I like the new white color. I mean, yeah. What do you have to summarize with all this?
Yeah, I think the deck quality definitely good. I think they need to do more for collectors. I think having those serialized cards, having those Zenkai rares, those type of things they did in History of Z were really cool. Even like when they did the unisons, I forget what they're called off the top of my head. And like the Goku Frieza unison that was $1 million that goes in the Wish deck.
The DBRs.
Power Wish deck. DBRs, yeah. Stuff like that, because I feel like the game is equal parts kept alive by players and collectors who are trying to hit those big pulls. So I think they're doing a pretty good job on the player side. The meta honestly, for the past year, 2 years, the meta has been very diverse. You can play a lot of stuff. Now, when ban list conversations come up, there's really not a ton that people want to hit. I mean, I think the last list was okay. That 3-drop Goku definitely needed to go, but Haze was kind of... It was definitely time for Haze to go, but they've been doing a great job balancing the stuff. If you look at Fusion World in comparison, it's night and day. So
yeah,
they're doing good on the player side. They just need to make sure that we're getting the value out of these cases and making sure that we're incentivized to still buy them. I know that it seems like they sell all their product though, so hopefully they will keep printing for us. I'm happy with the diversity of decks. There's nothing that's completely trashed here that you wouldn't at least want to give a shot. So yeah, just make sure that if you're gonna raise the price to $6 a pack, we gotta get a lot of value out of that. And bring back common foils, please. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it the thing? I don't understand.
It
seems so easy.
They went from taking away all foils, then they made only the rares foil, and then now they're making only the uncommons and rares foil. So the next set's the one, we're getting all of them foil. Everything's gonna be guaranteed foil.
If you want to make the uncommons non-foil and make me get them in pre-release packs, I mean, just something to where I can get the alt version or the higher rarity version, so all my cards can be shiny. That's really all we're after. We want shiny decks. So
yeah, especially when we're paying a lot more, we should be getting just pretty much all shiny cards. Which, I mean, most of the packs you open most of them are shiny cards, which is nice because you get like a lot of rares and SRs per pack. But yeah, I mean, just more bang for our buck, essentially, is what we want. But I would say just in the set, it was good. I liked it a lot. Hope they keep it up. They've been doing very good at deck quality, deck diversity for the meta. Nothing's been too broken recently, as far as I can remember that from the past year. Ever since probably Red Kid Coup, we've had really good meta. So yeah,
I'm nervous, a little bit nervous about the new set coming out so soon before Thanksgiving. I kind of have been enjoying the time and space they had given us with 6 months between releases. I think that was good to kind of let them. It did get stale. This last time we were really, the anniversary box didn't hit, I think, like it should have. A lot of those decks, besides Surge 2, really didn't step up into the meta at all.
Right.
But every 2 or 2.5, 3 months is also like, these decks are good now. We need some time to. There's a lot of exploring to do. This was just the first couple weekends. Now we get to see the ebbs and flows, and I like to give people some time to brew stuff up before, because these reveals are going to start for this November set soon, right?
Probably about next
We
month.
got to only be a few weeks away from those, and I feel like I barely have these cards in my hand. So that would be something to look out for in the future, especially if they're asking the Fusion World player base. There's a lot of overlap. So they just had a release also with set 7, I believe. So if you're playing both games, you got to spend a lot to keep up. Now, I wouldn't suggest buying Fusion World sealed product, but if you're supporting your LGS, or you're trying to get your hands on everything quickly, it's a lot of product. So I hope they kind of consider that too when they're coming up with the release dates. I think we'd be perfect at like 3 sets a year. Every 4 months, give us something.
Yeah, for sure. And then like the side sets every now and then, like an anniversary box and stuff like that. It's like tide us over in between. So yeah, that was the BT28's community reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you to everyone who commented and left their thoughts and opinions. We do really appreciate it and really enjoyed hearing all of you guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Yeah, except Petrillo.